Shady Gay, hello. We will get started here in just a moment. Oops. Oh, come back. Yes. Yes! This is what I want open. Well, hello and welcome. We're going to start story time here in just a moment. Excuse me. So many people joining. Yes. Well, I'm thinking about it. Let's try and share this. Bum, 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 bum. So silly. Hey, if you're giving over here and joining, the reason why you're not seeing anything is we're getting ready to start here in just a moment. Bang, bang. Ba-da-da. Hello, 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 hello. Visual now. Well, how's everybody doing today? Decided that from the last time we had a whole bunch of kerfuffles with trying to get a story to start. I think that today we'll actually restart this one from the beginning. So we actually get the whole time devoted to this one story instead of it being all over the place with trying to play a game and then trying to do stories and I might be a little biased to this story. It's absolutely adorable, with the main character being a snow leopard, and what I perceive as the main love interest in this story from the little bit that we played earlier in the week, um, to be an Arctic fox. There might be some bias because my partner is a Arctic fox. I did not know that going into this story at all. I was like, "Oh, this story looks cute. It's safe for work. Let's do something." Give it about 2 more minutes, everybody, and then we're going to start. A couple people have messaged me saying they are scrambling to get to a spot where they can actually join in, and I told them I would wait. I would wait until 2:10. My gosh. You are adorable. Arden, you don't need to be on here. You should be going and enjoying yourself. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My opportunity here. Knock, knock. What's that you hear? Bang, bang. My opportunity here. Pyrus, welcome. Mm-hmm. Sorry if you guys heard that noise. That's getting rid of a cough drop, if you must know. Alrighty, let's get started. Alrighty, welcome everybody to Storytime with Faze. Today we are going through the visual novel Promises to Keep. This is a part one. I'm not sure how long it'll take us to get through it, but just to give you a little bit of background of the story so you know what it is you're getting into. Promises to Keep is a queer, furry, safe for work 16 plus visual novel. Please be warned that while entirely safe for work, PTK does feature themes of religious and familial trauma, injury, mental illness, minor body horror, and homophobia. Some scenes may not be suitable for individuals with epilepsy, but there are in game warnings prior to those scenes. A promise is the greatest, most significant thing anyone can make in a reality where nothing's permanent. They are guarantees we make to one another. Knowing that guarantees are fruitless, their existence contradicts the fleeting, temporary nature of our universe. Yet they live on in the face of this futility. Aw, it's a very beautiful piece written by the creator. Um, to be completely honest, I was looking and looking, and I cannot find the actual creator's name for this particular visual novel. It looks like they keep that a little bit to themselves, which is totally fair. But you can go on to their Patreon if you wish to support them as we go through this and you find that you really enjoy it. They're constantly improving and doing more work. And their Patreon is the same. It's Promises to Keep at Patreon. All right, let's get started. Ooh, enter my name. Hee hee hee. Of course we're going to go with that one. Yes. We're sorry to inform you that due to severe weather conditions, your upcoming flight has been canceled. Please log into our app or website to reschedule. Fuck! I had just laid down, fur still wet from the shower, luggage packed and ready to go. I was bracing myself for a short night of sleep, but now it looks like I have no flight to wake up for tomorrow. I stare at the cancellation message, silently willing it to change into something else. It doesn't, of course. I pull myself off of my creaking mattress, reaching blindly for the suitcase I'd placed next to the bed. I unzip it and fish out my pillow and an extra blanket. I wrap it haphazardly around myself and stuff the pillow under my head, not even bothering to make the bed properly. My phone buzzes again. An email from the airline, bringing another reminder of the cancellation. Yep, no escaping it now. I'm not going anywhere. I was really looking forward to leaving. Aw, look at him, he's a cutie. Okay, maybe I'm a little biased. After a prolonged minute of staring into nothing, I begrudgingly opened my flight app. The bright colors of the loading screen beam down on me. I roll over onto my side and watch the wind-beaten window, that thin sheet of glass keeping the blizzard at bay. What am I doing? There's literally no point in trying to reschedule now. A snowstorm like this will put the entire city out of the commission for a while. I take one last look at my phone. Low battery mode, 3% power. I know the feeling. I flop my arm over the side of the bed once again, pawing around for the charging cable. The phone buzzes lightly as I plug it in, and I flip over to stare once again at the window. Sleep finds me faster than I expect. At least in my dreams, I am somewhere else. Somewhere else? Didn't you want to live here? Didn't you promise all those years ago to all those people that you'd return? Now that you're here, you can't wait to leave? Face it, you've returned, but you're not really living here. You're just waiting to die. I shiver a little. Something feels off. I poke my head out of the tightly wrapped nest of blankets. My bleary eyes take a few moments to adjust to the bright light peeking through the curtains. What time is it? I reach for my phone on the nightstand, sleepily sweeping my paw around my desk until I find it. I groan. Guess it's on the floor now. I begrudgingly roll to the edge of the bed, still somewhat protected by my covers. Fishing my phone off the ground, I tap the screen to check the time. Nothing. I could have sworn I plugged it in. I get up, still swaddled in my blankets, and stumble over to the window. I open the curtains, and Oh my God. I had known the storm was going to be serious, but standing at my frost-covered window, I'm greeted by huge, looming, mountainous piles of snow. It had been ages since I had seen anything like this. Adjusting my cocoon of blankets, I reach out a paw and place it gently against the glass, feeling the chill seep into my paw pads. The view through my window was comforting in a way. It reminded me of my childhood more It reminded me of childhood mornings, the unparalleled excitement of a snow day, and the cozy security of a warm house in cold weather. I shiver again. A warm house. I look down at my still dead phone, then back up at the snow encrusted window. My brain feels fuzzy and slow, unable to fully comprehend my situation. Wait! I turn and sweep into the living room, my blankets trailing behind me, and walk up to the thermostat on the wall. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. I can only see my reflection staring back at me in the temperature control panel, the interface itself blank and devoid of life. Suddenly, it strikes me just how cold I am, how cold everything is, from the air brushing my face to the floor beneath my footpaws. The power must have gone out at some point during the night. And with it, of course, the heat. For a long moment, I stand completely still in the center of the living room, attempting to process this turn of events. I trudge over to my fridge and open it, out of instinct, but am quickly reminded that I cleaned it out last night. Probably for the best. This thing is useless without power. Defeated, I slowly walk to my chilled easy chair and sit, unsure of what to do. Without a clear way out of this mess, all I can do is start to daydream. I wonder if he's still here, enduring the storm like everyone else. Who am I kidding? I've been back here a whole year, and there's been no sign of him. Not that I've actively scoured the city for him, but I've just been so busy. Work has been so busy. Life just got in the way. I'm jolted out of my thoughts by the doorbell. Startled, fur standing on end a little, I crane my neck, trying to see the visitor through the frost-caked window. When that fails, I finally uncurl myself from my chair and step quietly towards the door. Peeking out of the peephole, I can see nothing, just a white haze. Must be covered with snow. I jump as the knock sounds once again, right next to my head. Hello? No, he's gotta have a better voice than that. Hello? Anyone there? My name's Theodore. I live down the street. I'm just checking to make sure you're okay. Theodore. Yes, I remember running into him once or twice on the way back to work. An Arctic fox, about 10-ish years older than me. I reach out a paw to open the door, then realize I'm still swaddled in blankets. I frantically shed my sheets and scramble about for a coat, cursing as I knock it on the floor. When I'm finally ready, I cautiously open the door, and the wind hits me like a truck. My fur fluffs up, and I curl into my jacket, shivering. I had expected my thick snow leopard pelt to keep me safe from the wind, but clearly I was wrong. The bundled up Arctic fox stands in my doorway, paw outstretched to knock again. Oh, hello. Sorry for the surprise visit. Faze, right? I nod dumbly, too cold to give him a proper reply. He looks me up and down, concern plain on his face. I'm checking up on my neighbors. I understand a lot of people lost power last night, and he stops mid sentence and takes a tentative step forward. Do you mind if I come in? Then we can shut the door. You look like you're freezing. I take a guilty look behind me at the state of my living room. Uh, it's a little messy, but okay. I step backward and let him shut the door behind him. Thanks, Faze. Some weather we're having, right? He gives me something between a grimace and a smile, clearly trying to lighten the mood as I shiver next to the door. He looks me up and down again. I nod once more, pulling my coat tighter around myself. I miss my blanket cocoon. How can I help you? Well, I'm hoping I can be the one to help you. His eyes scan the room, landing on the dead thermostat and the piles of blankets on the floor. I wince internally, thinking about what a mess the place is. It's looking like this whole side of the street lost power. As I understand it, the snowstorm knocked over a tree, which, in turn, uprooted an electric pole. Oh, my ears droop. That, that's pretty serious. He locks eyes with mine, then his voice gentle. Yes, I'm afraid it is. I'm sorry. But it looks like most of the neighborhood will be out of power for a few days at least. A few days? Panic starts to bloom in my chest. I was already freezing my ass off, and it was only going to get colder? Theodore seems to notice my alarm and gently reaches out to place a paw on my shoulder. I feel its warmth through my shirt, seemingly the only source of heat in the whole house. Faze, please don't worry. I would be happy to house you until your power comes back on. That's why I'm here. His voice draws me back to the present, and I look up at him. I still have electricity and an extra room for you, with heating, of course. I'm actually housing a few other people as well, neighbors from the side of the street. You are more than welcome to join us for however long you need. The gears start turning in my head. Before this, Theodore and I seldom spoke, and now he's offering to house me? I didn't have any reasons to be skeptical, but I know this might sound like it's coming out of nowhere, but we haven't had a winter this bad in quite a while. Neighbors should look out for one another in times like these, right? A group of random people at another person's house? Someone I didn't really know? And the crowd we've got is pretty friendly, I promise. His tone is warm, inviting, and absolute genuine. I take one more look at the dead thermostat, and it stares back at me vacantly. Well, it seems to say, what other choice do you have? I take a deep breath and regain my voice. Okay, sure. If you don't mind, I'd love to stay at your place, at least until my power comes back on. Theodore beams at me, clearly pleased. Glad to hear it. Why don't you gather some of your stuff to bring over? And let me know if you need a hand. No, I've got it covered. Just give me a sec. Give me just a second. I walk briskly to my room, heart pounding. I enter my room and grab the luggage I had carefully packed yesterday. Fuck. It's so much colder in here than I realized. Trembling slightly, I take one more quick look around, sipping my dead phone. Trembling. Let's start that over. Trembling slightly, I take one more quick look around, slipping my dead phone and its charger into my pocket. I knew I was set on leaving this room and this house behind today, but I didn't expect it to happen like this. I exhale shakily, remembering to breathe. I had never been to Theodore's place. To be honest, he had barely spoken before this encounter. I'm not even sure I know which house is his. I begin to worry in earnest now, twisting the handle of my luggage between my frozen paws. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was supposed to be on a flight going far away. Hey, come on, Vase. You don't have to mope or to panic. I chastise myself slightly, remembering once again to breathe. How's it? How is it so easy to forget? I look down and realize I'm still wearing last night's clothes. I should probably change real quick, especially if I'm going to be meeting new people. Oh god. Just keep moving. This. Just keep moving. That's all you have to do. I take one more deep breath and realize. I take one more deep breath and release the handle of my bag. Just be normal. Theodore looks up from his phone as I return to the living room, glancing at my full luggage. All packed? Anything you need me to carry? No, I think I've got everything I'll need, and it's just down the street. I can always come back. Fair enough. Ready to go then? I give the place one final look around. It looks back at me, cold and painfully familiar. Yeah, I think I am. Well, I'd suggest a warmer coat, and you'll definitely need snow boots. Huh? Mine's still fuzzy from the weather. I pause and look down at my clothes, then back up at Theodore. Look, I've been walking around in it all day. That wind is playing nasty. and the shallowest snowdrifts are thigh high at least. I know we're both got some serious winter padding, but this storm is nothing else. But this storm is something else. Oh, of course, snow boots. I shake my head violently to clear my brain fog, but all this does is give me a headache. Right, right. Sorry. Let me just. Theodore flashes me a warm smile. Take your time. I putter around the messy room, collecting my thickest coat and sturdiest boots. My paws twitch slightly at how cold they are. It felt like everything in the house froze overnight, including my brain, I guess. I quickly zip up my coat and button over the zipper, then begin struggling with the boots. There we go. That's more like it. I try to give a smile back. Ready to go. Promise this time. Oh, that's beautiful. The snow stretches out in front of me, pristine, fresh, and almost paw print free. I take a few steps, disrupting the nearly perfect surface with my heavy, boot clad paws. Despite Theodore's warnings, I gasp slightly as my legs sink in the past. I gasp slightly as my legs sink in past the knee, cold slush seeping into my jeans. I lift my head slightly, and the snowfall seems to slow for a moment as I take in my surroundings. Oh, look at that cutie. In that lingering moment, the world seems so quiet, dampened by the hush of winter. Fat flakes dance around me on their way to the ground, piling higher and higher around my submerged boots. I resist the urge to stick out my tongue, like I did as a kid, as I watch them descend. I truly can't remember the last time the city has been this silent. The snowflakes start to accumulate on my snout, on my shoulders, on the side of my coat, wherever they can find purchase. My snout starts to sting, yet my other senses feel so muffled. For a single precious second, the world seems to stop turning. All is silent, calm, and still. And then the wind picks up again, and the sweet, beautiful snowfall starts to blow directly into my face and eyes. I hiss in pain and hike up the hood of my coat. The howling gusts tear at the howling gusts tear at the fabric, trying to rip it off and ruffle unchallenged through my fur. It's like nature itself was reminding me of its presence. It's like nature itself was reminding me of its preeminence. I feel the weight of my cold phone in my pocket, a victim to the wrath of the storm. I think of the plane I was supposed to board, grounded by the weather, buried like the cars on the street. I feel helpless, too, taking it all in, a speck in the endless white ocean, whose tide could so easily sweep me away. I would be powerless to fight back. Then a steady paw on my shoulder pulls me out of my thoughts. Hey, you alright? He's nearly shouting over the sound of the wind. I turn to face him, blinking and shaking the snow off my face. The gusts wane slightly, and I manage to get a few words out. Yeah, I'm just adjusting. I mean, I was born and raised here, but I don't ever remember seeing snow like this. Theodore nods. As far as I can remember, this is the worst it's ever been. I believe it. The cold starts to pierce through my layers, and I can feel a creeping wetness spreading underneath my socks. Theodore seems to be surveying the area as well, but I get the feeling he isn't just taking in the scenery. It'll be days, I think, before they can get the plows through here, and it's obviously still piling up, so I can hear the worry creeping into his voice as he looks up and down the street. I look past him to my car, parked in the driveway, or at least what I think is my car. Only a vague shape is visible beneath the snow. But that's for future us to worry about. He imbues his voice with some forced cheer and starts wading through what I assume is the sidewalk. For now, let's just get someplace warm. I'm freezing my tail off out here. He leads the way, and I follow closely behind him. We walk slowly with a wide, loping gait, foot paws testing for shallow spots, doing our best not to topple over. After only a few steps, I start following Theodore's trail exactly, tired of wading through the thigh-high drifts. We walk quietly, both of us devoting most of our attention to staying upright. I wasn't really in a conversational mood anyway. For some reason, it felt wrong to talk too much out here. Winter was speaking. We could choose not to listen, but we shouldn't interrupt. After a, After a minute or so, Theodore turns back to me and points towards a nearby house. This one's mine! I blink in surprise. It's huge. For some reason, I hadn't expected him to own the biggest house on the block. We walk up the partially shoveled porch steps, and he fishes a key ring from his coat pocket. I'll need to give this another shovel tomorrow. People will be coming and going. He turns the key and opens the door. We both hustle in and hurriedly shut it behind us, eager to escape the chill. Oh, wow, it's a pretty house. The warmth in the living room is heavenly, courtesy of a robust heating system and a merrily crackling fireplace. I can feel my muscles finally begin to relax in response to the welcoming heat. I don't think I realized just how cold I had been until this moment. We're back! Theodore calls out as we enter the house, but I don't hear a response. They must be busy. Well, you can meet them later. He sheds his coat and holds out his paw to take mine. As I struggle to remove my snow-filled boots, I gotta go back. I skipped. As I struggle to remove my snow-filled boots, I can't help but ask, Um, how many others are here? A smile returns to Theodore's face. He seems to have no shortage of those. Counting you, I'm expecting 5 guests in total. He brushes the clinging clumps of snow off our two coats and hangs them neatly on a nearby rack. Some of them are still gathering their things. Not too many, then. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I don't know if I could have handled something like a group of 10. Please, sit. He gestures to a couch in front of the fire, and I readily fall into one of the seats. I resist the tempting urge to immediately curl up into the warm cushions. Theodore looks me over again and continues. Anything to drink? How about some warm tea? I prepare the leaves myself. I suddenly notice how wet my pant legs are and guiltily shift them off the couch. I think I'm good. To be honest, I kind of feel bad intruding in the first place, so. Theodore raises an eyebrow. Now, I'm going to stop you right there. As long as you are here, as long as you are staying here, what's mine is yours. I promise you, there's no reason at all for you to feel bad or guilty. It's not as if the power outages are your. I promise you, there is no reason at all for you to feel bad or guilty. It's not as if the power outages are your fault. And speaking of, I felt how cold it was in your house. You must still be freezing. Please, let me bring you a warm mug of tea. All right, you got me. Some hot tea sounds wonderful right now. Excellent. I'll be back in just a second. He turns and begins to walk through the kitchen. Theodore? He stops in the doorway and returns. He stops in the doorway and turns. Thank you for all this. It's my pleasure, and please call me Theo. As Theo walks off to the kitchen, I remember the dead phone weighing down my pocket and begin to scan the room for an outlet. The living room is pretty well kept, much neater and more welcoming than my place when I still lived there. Do I still live there? I wonder where I'll be after the storm settles down. I find a suitable spot near the couch and start charging my phone. I wonder if I'll have any messages, or if it will just be updates on my canceled flight. Just automated texts sent by a computer. Then I hear paw steps as Theo returns to the living room, two steaming mugs in paw. Here, it's my favorite brew. White tea with chicory root, hibiscus, coriander, some other flavors. I think you'll like it. He holds a mug toward me as he sits, and I reach out to grab it with both paws, hungry for its warmth. Thank you. I lower my head to give the tea a sniff. It smells like tea. I guess I don't really know much about tea. As I lean in for a sip, Theo slips his phone out of his pocket. It tastes floral, with hints of citrus. It's pretty good, actually. I start to give a compliment, but Theo speaks first. Do you know the Raptor number 42? I've been trying to get him to join us here, but he hasn't responded to my texts. Didn't answer the door when I knocked either. Um, Not really. I mean, I don't have his number or anything. A trail, I trail off lamely, hiding my snout in my mug. A few seconds of silence pass as Theo continues to type. A few seconds of silence pass as Theo continues typing. I'm texting a friend of his, Artemis. He's the bird in number 60. The two of them are pretty close. He'll also be staying with us. I nod, trying to sip my tea as quietly as possible. It felt pretty bad to admit that I didn't know my neighbors at all, especially when Theo has gone out of his way to be so kind to me. You know, I think I'll just head over there again. This cold isn't good for scaly folk, and I want to make sure he's alright. Sounds good. Do you want me to tag along? Theo takes one look at me, tail wrapped around my soaking wet pant legs, clutching my mug to my chest. No, you still need to warm up. Just stay put. I'll be back soon. I nod, immensely grateful. I was in no rush to charge back into the storm. Theo gets up and walks to the door, slipping on his coat again. Stay safe. And, I like the tea. I hold up my mug and give him a smile. Feel free to pour yourself another cup. I'll be back before you know it. The door swings shut, and I'm left alone with my tea and my thoughts. After a few more sips, I feel the comfortable heat start to seep into my core, slowly spreading throughout my body. I pull my still frozen foot paws up onto the couch and peel off my wet socks, tucking them into a side pocket of my bag. As the minutes pass, I start subconsciously prepping for company, my eyes fixed on the front door, waiting for it to open. I can do this. I can be normal. They'll come in through the front door any moment now. Then I hear a door shut somewhere else in the house. I nearly jump off the couch, startled, before remembering the other house guests. I just hadn't expected them to be here already. I take a deep breath. My puffed up tail swishes back and forth. Ugh, why am I so jumpy? I hear the gentle tap of paws coming down the flight of stairs, the sound getting louder. I sit up and prepare to meet whoever is coming, tucking my tail behind me to hide my nerves. Oops. I went back too far. Ooh. What kind of voice should we give this character? Theo! Theo! I just heard from Artemis. What do you think? Theo, I just got a text from Artemis. Hmm. Theo, I just got a text from Artemis saying. Then the mystery guest comes into view. Aww, it's like a cute little corgi. He stops mid sentence, making eye contact with me, and gasps loudly, an audible mix of shock and wonder. Phase? My heart beats even faster. Those ears and fur patterns were unmistakable. Oh no. It can't be. It had to be. Rafi? My heart drops. I feel time slow down around me. The dog freezes, eyes wide. He's clearly surprised, but I can't fully read his expression. Does he have some sort of grudge against me? Honestly, I'd understand if he did, given our history. We used to be the best of friends. Little memories flit across my mind. The vibrant colors of the trees in the town square, Rafi, the tree, and I, all changing with the seasons. The smell of the playground grass during recess. The smell of the playground grass during recess, freshly mown. The long nights we would spend talking, and the quickening beat of my heart when we would play fight. Especially when those fights turned into sleepy cuddles. The last chocolate bar we shared before I left. Dark chocolate, bitter, with hardly any sweet. It's been over a decade since I last saw Rafi. Since my parents decided to uproot our lives and move across the country. I only broke the news to Rafi a few days before the movers made their final trip to our place, grabbing the last of our things. I just couldn't find a way to tell him without breaking his heart, or mine. Leaving felt wrong. It felt horrible. At the time, it felt like I would never recover, and neither would he. After that terrible conversation, we spent our last few days trying to pretend nothing was wrong. We just couldn't bring ourselves to talk about it anymore. And then, just like that, I left. He couldn't even see me off. We chatted back and forth a few times, long distance. Our talks grew less and less frequent until they stopped completely. He just wasn't a friend I could keep over the phone. Years passed and I forgot. Perhaps I made myself forget. That's always what I've done with painful memories. A single question settles like a lump in my throat. A childish question. A question a child asks when they know they've done something wrong. Are you mad at me? I open my mouth to ask it, but FaZe! It really is you! The bright orange dog breaks into. Ah, darn it, I pressed the button. Come back. The bright orange dog breaks into a sprint across the room, arms outstretched. I barely have time to react before he tackles me in a soft, fluffy hug. Then we both fall back onto the couch, his momentum carrying us a bit too far. I lay there for a second, dazed. Then I feel him jump up from the couch. Ah! Oh, sorry. It's been so long. You really are FaZe, right? I didn't just hug some stranger? He really hasn't changed at all. He takes a seat next to me, eyes wide, but filled with energy. Still reeling from his football tackle. I find enough air in my lungs to respond. Yeah, it's me, FaZe. Wow, it really has been a while. What, like 10, 12 years? He says this incredulously, counting on his paws. The guilt rise once again to the surface. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Uh, hey, FaZe, you okay? I blink a few times, unball my stiff paws, and force myself to meet his eyes. Yes, sorry, it's been a while, you know? I trail off, watching his face closely for a hint of sadness, a twinge of anger, anything really. But his expression doesn't really change. To an unknowing observer, it would seem we were only apart for a weekend. It has been, but it's just nice to see you again, really. The genuine warmth in his voice comforts me a little. Maybe he really isn't mad. I feel the same way. Really. Amidst all the craziness, it's nice to see a familiar face. Knowing that we'd have to breach this topic. Bleh. Knowing that we'd have to breach this topic at some point, I decide to take the leap. So, speaking of, what are you doing here? I wince a little. Not the smoothest segue. But he takes my question and runs with it, like the master conversationalist I remember. Well, you'd never believe it. His voice practically drips with sarcasm. But I stay here for all of high school and then for college at the suggestion of my parents. Oh God, Rafi's parents. Are they still the same? He rolls his eyes and nods. Yes, yes, they are. So you're still under their thumb? Rafi pull Rafi puffs out his chest proudly. Actually, I moved out, so not as much, I guess. My eyes widen. His parents were the extremely overbearing type. They loved keeping him in the house and would always give him shit for just asking to hang out with me on the weekends. And they were okay with that. You moving out? Well, sort of. That didn't sound too convincing. There's no way they would just let him move out. All not if they were at all the same people they were a decade ago. They kind of made it happen themselves, really. I notice his tone drop slightly. I open my mouth and close it again, burning with curiosity but not wanting to pry. I decide to drop it for now and let the room go quiet. Anyway, enough about that. It takes him only a moment or two to perk up. He's always had the ability to lighten a conversation, and I was always jealous of that. I'm still jealous of that. What are you doing back at this time of year? Missed me so much that you traveled through a snowstorm to see me? I resist the urge to flinch. Best to just tell him the truth now. It'll come out eventually anyway. Actually, I've been back nearly a year. Sorry. That's awesome that they totally shut the music off at that moment of just like bam, like drama. Yeah. A year? Why haven't you seen it all then? Oh, why haven't I seen you at all then? I fold a little into myself and drop my gaze, though I can tell he's surprised, not upset. Thank God. Not sure I could handle an upset Rolfie right now. Or ever, really. Actually, guys, that is a stopping point for right now. We've been going at it for an hour. And we're going to stop for right now. We're going to pick this part up. Oh, right button. Quick save complete. Let's do a. I'd like you. Yes. Hello, Drizzle. Welcome. I love this novel. I so far am really enjoying it. This is the first time I've actually ever seen this novel. The time passing? Aw, it's very sweet. Because it's definitely been a minute. Well, it's been over an hour. Bum, bum, bum. Hmm. I've got a question for you guys. Because I think. Can you guys hear the music? You guys can't hear the music at all? No? Ah, darn it. Shoot. Boo. It's alright. I will fix that. You know what? I'm going to fix that right now. Hmm. How about now? Do you guys hear music? Now you can hear it. Okay. How loud? Is it really loud compared to me talking? Loved the goofy dubbing. Well, thank you. I'll just sit here, chill, and chat for a bit. Definitely, if you guys love hearing this, we'll be back next week, continuing the story. I would love to see you there. Valerie, how are you doing today? Orion, also, how are you? Hello, Eric. I see you on YouTube. Doing lovely. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Valerie. Glad that you're doing fine. Hmm. Changes. Alrighty. Thank you so much. We're going to sign out. Um, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you're not already liked and subscribed, don't forget to share. I appreciate all of you so much, and I will see you guys, or I will hopefully see you all Monday for the next story time. Y'all have a great rest.